Hi everybody, this is going to be the start of the new vlog for the following week, but actually it's still the same day as I recorded the last vlog and that I uploaded my video. But remember I told you I had just a little window of time. I needed to get the pillow done for Marissa. Look, I did it! And I got just under an hour to spare before I have to leave to go to dinner. So it's not perfect. My corners aren't perfect, but you know what? I don't care. There's the back. I think it looks perfect for me, and I'm sure Marissa will love it because she won't know the difference. And I finished it up. I stuffed it full of fiberfill, and I am totally pleased with the job. And I figured that since it's the first pillow I've done, the next one will be a little better, and then the next one after that should be a little bit better. So wanted to share it. Marissa's birthday present, and I can only go up from here. And it's squishy. I got it kind of thick, and it's nice and squishy, and it's just the way I would like it. I think she will too. See ya. Bye. Hi, it's Sandy. I am here on Monday, October 1st. Hello, October. Just another short little vlog here. Don't mind the glare on my glasses. I have to have the light on here to get some light in here. Just a couple of little things that I wanted to mention in this vlog. And first of all, I just want to mention that if you have left a comment on my last video and I didn't answer it, I'm sure that I have hearted it. But I'm going to do something new as far as, instead of taking that time to sit there and type thank you on each one or answer a question or whatever, I'm going to make it a part of my video and mention everybody who's left me a comment, because I'm getting such fantastic comments. Wow. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because that will be just before I publish this. All right, today. One thing really fantastic. In the mail today, got a letter addressed to unknown person at my address from State Farm Insurance. Apparently, the person who ran down our mailbox turned it in to their insurance company. So it said that I needed to contact them with this specific claim number, which I did. And so I needed to send them or email them a picture of the damage and the receipt for fixing it. And they are going to reimburse us for that. What a nice surprise. We thought it cost us just over $35 and for a new mailbox and a new post. And my husband was complaining because he didn't get anything for his labor. And I says, hey, $35 is $35, so stop complaining. So we're getting reimbursed for that. So that's great. I did find out the insurance company told us that it was a 2014 Subaru Forester. Well, we knew it was a Subaru because that's what was stamped on all the parts that were all over our yard. But we're getting reimbursed, so that's a happy thing. Glad. You know, I mean, it's not a ton of money, but like I said, $35 is $35, especially when you're like us and you're on a fixed income. You can't just go out and work a little extra overtime to make up for those extra expenses. So, okay, couple of things. I have been stitching a lot. I've not been posting on Instagram, and I am thinking I really need to start doing that. I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I've been stitching on so you get an idea. This is Route 66. It is in the Q-snap. I am not going to take it out because I'm working on it. And so that is, I've done this blue up in here and this tangerine and orange here. This is the VW bus, and if you remember from the picture, it is a psychedelic bus, so we're going to continue on with that. And I have just been going to town on Shades of Summer. I am just loving it. And it's still in the Q-snap because I don't want to take it out because I'm working, but I'm way down. The bottom of this page is like just right down here. So I'm getting close to getting to the bottom, at least on this side right here. And I've kind of been working my way as to how I was going to stitch. I told you I'm doing some experimenting. And I kind of did a diagonal. I don't think I would like doing Brian Blitz stitches, diagonals. I don't think it's for me. Okay, that's how I'm going to leave it. I also did a little work on Frederick, but he's way over there, so I'll wait and show you him on probably Friday, if that's when I do my video, or the final upload. Let's see. I decided, because when I was spinning the wheel, sometimes I was getting repeats, or I was getting something and I was like, well, I'm not really into stitching that. So what I decided to do was, I told you I was leaving Shades of Summer out. And I told you that I was leaving Scarecrow out and working on that back stitch. I really got to start doing that because it is October 1st. So I've got to make that an effort to get on that. But what I decided was I'd have 5 projects out to work on, because I don't like to sit and work on the same project. Some days I will work on 2 or 3 different projects in the same day. I know I am crazy, but it's my crazy, and it works for me. So what I did was I spun the wheel a couple of times. I wrote down some projects, and those are the ones I'm going to work on for the whole week. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if I can stick with that or if I have to change it. I did kit up a couple of new projects today, or finish kitting up a couple of new projects today, and stuck them on my new start wheel. So when a new start comes up, we'll be able to do that. Okay, I was reading those books, and I'm trying to keep this short. This one, The Girl Who Smiled Beads. This is the one about the girl from Rwanda. I finished it. This was not an easy read for me, just because of the way she wrote the book. She moves back and forth, chapter to chapter, from when she was a little girl in Rwanda to the current time, to maybe when she first came to the United States. And it's just, for me, it was hard for me to keep following it. But the story itself is well worth reading the book. I had no idea of how those people were living over there, the refugees, back in the 90s when this all started taking place. The starvation, the deprivation, the fact that they a lot of times didn't even have a tent over their heads. I had no idea. So this was a real wake-up for me. So I would recommend it just as an eye-opener. Okay, the next book that I had been reading was the Michelle Knight book, and Life After Darkness. Very, very, very good book. I know she had help writing this, but this is such a well-written book. It was very easy to follow, very easy to keep up with. All I can say is, after what she lived through for 10 years, to come out and do what she has done with her life is just beyond amazing. I give her so much credit for having done what she's done, and she has become a speaker about abuse and about what happened to her and so on. I don't think I'm going to go back and read the first book, because in reading this one, this is all about taking her life back. The first book is about what happened during those 10 years. I pretty much know all of that from TV and what was on Dr. Phil and Oprah and everything. And I don't want to read that again. I don't want to hear that again. In fact, at the very end of this book, she got into talking about the abuse that she suffered as a child. She never had an easy life, let's put it that way. And I don't know, I think I may have mentioned it before, but I was in an abusive relationship way back when I was like 19, 20 years old. And reading the end of this brought back a lot of that. And it was very difficult for me to read it. I had to keep putting the book down and just sit for a little while and then pick it back up and read a little bit more. If you have suffered abuse at any time during your life, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you may not be able to understand what I'm saying. It's not, everybody always says, just walk away. Well, you can't. You're being threatened. You fear for your life. I don't want to say any more than that, because this isn't the time or the place, but this is a fantastic book. I would suggest that anybody go out and get this. And again, it's Michelle Knight. She has changed her name, Lily Rose Lee, but it's listed as being written by Michelle Knight, and it's called Life After Darkness. I started the next one, the fiction, and I just am into that just a little bit, so I won't really mention that right now. But that's it for right now, and so I want to let everybody know I'm feeling pretty good. Bob went for his evaluation today for his speech therapy, and he will actually start speech therapy on Thursday. And other than that, I think everything's okay. I'm trying to fight off that fall sinus thing that I tend to get every year, but I will persevere. So I'm going to let you all go until the next clip. So see you later. Bye. Hi, everybody. I think we're on. It's Sandy back again. It's Saturday morning. October 6th. Not been a really good week since I last vlogged. I ended up going to the doctor on Thursday, and I have both a UTI, urinary tract infection, and diverticulitis. Talk about a double whammy. So I'm on antibiotics. Hopefully he gave me only the antibiotics for the bladder infection, and we're hoping that we caught the diverticulitis soon enough that I won't have to go through that set of antibiotics, because I don't do well with antibiotics, and those antibiotics are killers, and I end up in bed. So I'm hoping, let's keep our fingers crossed that I get to feeling better. Yesterday I didn't feel up to managing a video, so I'm going to do it this morning. I feel a little bit better today, so let's power on. Everybody ready? Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. All right, first thing I want to do before I do anything else is I want to explain what I'm doing here and then go on with that. And that is that I had so many wonderful comments on my previous video and the videos before that. And instead, I decided that instead of talking about who I've watched on FLOSSTUBE, I was going to mention my commenters, because I appreciate each and every one of you, and I appreciate those comments more than you will ever know. And so this is what I'm going to do from now on. Instead of answering your questions or typing a thank you comment back to you, I am going to mention you on my video. And I'm not going to read everybody's comments. or anything like that, but if there's something in particular that you ask a question about, I will answer it. And hopefully I won't mess up anybody's name, but let's do that first. So first, I want to say thank you to everybody for all the prayers that you're sending. The prayers you sent for me and my husband, the prayers that you have sent for Olivia, the prayers that you have sent for my sister-in-law, Lori. Deeply appreciated. And before I go on, just one more person that if you're a praying person, could you pray for? And I don't want to get this too long and drawn out, but I do think I need to preface who this person is. Her name is Jenny, and I used to have a best friend. Her name was Bonnie, and she was a secretary at our church, and her husband and me and my husband went on a couple of vacations together up to like Henry Ford Museum, Greenfield Village, spend the night, and then we would come back the next day. We always had a wonderful time with them. Bonnie was a real health person. She walked every day, rain or shine. Didn't matter whether it was snowing or freezing or whatever, unless it was, dangerous to be outside. Then she wouldn't go out for her walk, but she walked all the time. She ate really well. I kind of looked like a giant next to her because she was short, petite, small, and tiny. And I'm, at one time I was 5'9". I have shrunk over the years. But her and I just clicked when Bob and I started going to that church, which was in 1997. And Bonnie, even though she was a vegetarian and everything that she did, all the exercise, everything, she got a brain tumors. And unfortunately, 3 years of treatment and everything, she passed away. Still breaks my heart. But Dan, her husband, found another love. And Jenny, I'm going to cry and I'm sorry, but this is real life, folks. And it is what it is. But after a few years, after Bonnie's passing, Dan started seeing Jenny. And Jenny actually was one of Bonnie's caregivers at end of life because Bonnie passed away at home under the care of hospice. And believe me, Dan loved Bonnie. They had been married since they were just out of high school, and I never saw a more loving couple. But when people pass on, God brings new people into your life. And so they started dating, and one day she posted on Facebook that a picture of Dan and said, "This guy asked me to go steady," and I said yes, which I thought was totally precious. They were both retired. She's a retired school teacher. Dan was a contractor. And they got married, and they have been having the time of their lives, which is fabulous. And I don't know how long ago it's been, not real long. It's been, I'd say, within the last year. Jenny was diagnosed with lung cancer. And I don't know Jenny really well because she was not a friend of mine. And after Bonnie died, we really didn't see too much of Dan anymore. But I follow Facebook. I'm friends with her on Facebook, and I'm friends with Dan. And Dan doesn't post much, but Jenny does. And they have traveled to see all of their families, her kids, his kids. They went to Italy this past year, not too long ago, because I think that's where her roots are, and she had family there. And they've traveled, especially since she got her diagnosis. chemo didn't help. So then they had been basically told that, you know, there wasn't really much could be done at this point. And so they heard about a new treatment in Houston, Texas. But then just before they signed up for it, Cleveland Clinic called and said, we think we have a new protocol that we think might help you. So she went to Cleveland Clinic, she went through it. I just found out recently it didn't help. So now they're going to Houston. They're leaving on Monday. They're leaving on Monday. Her treatment starts the 9th. I ran into Dan at the grocery store the other day, and he told me that they'll be there until the 14th. Please pray, send good thoughts for Jenny, that this treatment will be the answer and that she will be able to continue her life with Dan. I can't imagine this happening to a person like Dan. To lose Bonnie and then being faced with the possibility of losing Jenny. So please, prayers for Jenny, especially through this next week as she undergoes that treatment in Houston. Let's pray that it works. Now, I'm going to pull myself together and continue on with that. In fact, I think I'm going to pause and blow my nose, and hopefully I remember to hit the pause button when I come back and not the record button and shut it off. So just 1 second. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, back to my commenters. And I apologize for the lighting in here today. It's rainy. It's been kind of a couple of just really crappy days, to put it bluntly. We were cooler yesterday, but today they're saying 85, and for like the next 4 or 5 days we're going to be in the 80s. It's hard to believe that it's October, but that's what Northern Ohio is getting. The next few days is going to be a lot of rain and these 80-some degree temperatures, high 70s and mid 80s. And then it looks like in about a week, we're going to drop down into the 50s for the highs. So, you know, Northern Ohio weather, that's what it is. Okay. So again, thank you for all those prayers, everybody. All right. Hanging by a thread. This next one, I have no idea how to say this, so I'm going to spell it. See, I can't even spell it. ABUELITAP 65. I'm sure that stands for something, or it's a last name, or maybe it's a first name. I don't know, but thank you. Thank you to Patricia Ferry. Thank you to Sue Oberfell. Thank you to Shelley, the Moonlight Stitcher. Thank you to Craft and Bev. Thank you to Till the Last Stitch. Thank you to Jo Marie Hogel. Thank you to So Createful. And she actually said that I'm like family to her. Right back at you, Paige. I'm pretty sure her name is Paige. When you don't use your name as your handle for YouTube, sometimes I get confused, but I try to remember. Thank you to Luby's Lot. Thank you to Patty Miller. And Patty said that she's in her 60s and she's still working, and that she's so tired after work, and that she uses cross stitch to help her anxiety. And she also does not get into too many cells because of that. And Patty, I totally understand. I retired at 66, and it's been 3 years now. We're going to be headed into almost, it's been 4 years. And I remember by the time I would get home from work, I was so doggone tired, sometimes just putting some food together, and a lot of times I would stop at Subway on the way home and bring sandwiches home because I just couldn't face the idea of coming in and cooking. And I would just sit. I mean, I played computer games. I liked puzzle type games, and I would play computer games on my tablet because it was just, you know, it was the repetition and clicking here, clicking there. It wasn't like trying to cross stitch. So hopefully, I don't know where you're at in your 60s, but hopefully you'll be able to retire soon and you'll be able to cross stitch more like I've been able to do. Okay, next one. Thank you to Betty Hewlin. Thank you to Stitch by Stitch Recovery. Thank you to Cross My Stitches. Thanks to all of you for all your kind, wonderful comments. I love it. Okay, next. Someone pointed out the fact that some videos back, instead of using the thumbnail, that's what they call it, the thumbnail that YouTube supplies, I had put a baby picture in there. And that's because YouTube always picks the picture with me with my mouth wide open, or where I look like something from I don't know where, outer space or something. And that particular video, usually I try to pick the least worst of the three. That particular video, they were all horribly, horribly bad. So I went to my gallery on my computer and I saw where I had scanned that baby picture some time ago to put it on Facebook for a comparison with my son. And that is a baby picture of me. It was from when I was, I think my mother said I was somewhere between 6 and 8 months old. And I did have really long hair. I was born with a full head of hair. And so it was long. But yep, that's me. That's my baby picture. And maybe I'll throw it in there again sometime. Okay, whips. I worked on Frederick the Literate. And here's where I got to, and I didn't iron any of this stuff because I haven't been feeling well this week, so you're just going to get it the way it is. So here's Frederick the Literate. That's where I'm at. Nope, I've got it holding it the wrong way. Sometimes when I hold it up, I can't see it, and then when I do actually see it, I'm like, oh wait, that's wrong. So there's Frederick the Literate. I can't remember exactly where I was working. I think that I went and I was doing a lot of fill-in over in this area. Not sure exactly. It's been a couple of days since I worked on this. And I did do a little bit of backstitch on there to try to get a little bit ahead with the backstitch. So there's Frederick the Literate. What I spent most of my time on was Shades of Summer. It's just like I had to keep picking it back up. It was just calling me. And here's Shades of Summer by Artisy. By the way, Frederick is on 14 count brown Aida, and my Shades of Summer is on 14 count white Aida, but it's a full coverage, so it won't really matter. Let me try to get it open here. I worked on 2 different parts of this one page. I'm going to hold up the whole thing here. Let me just turn back this one edge because I have another page or 2 to do over there. And let's see if I can get the whole thing in here. Okay, there we are. There is the whole thing to date. And now let me fold this back a little bit and I'll show you the part that I've actually been working on. And that is this page right here. And if you remember, I got a lot done. I was up in here somewhere. Well, what I did was I got tired. There was so much confetti in this section. So I went up here and I started working down. And over here, there was some spots where I could get it wasn't total confetti. There's a lot of confetti in this project, but at least I could get a little faster. So then I worked on that. Then I went back down here and did some more confetti, and then I went back over here and I worked a little more on this. So I am more than halfway to a page finish on this. In fact, let me look. I have the chart here. Yeah, I am well on my way to a page finish. I have to go down a little bit more here. Let's see, does it go down? Yeah, it's going to go just past this, just a couple of rows past this ending block here. And then, of course, come across here and come down. So, yeah, I'm well on my way to a page finish. So, I may have burned myself out a little bit on this week. Because there was several days where that was all I worked on and didn't work on anything else. So, I'll get back to it, and because that I'm leaving out. I'm going to leave that out from now on, and whenever I feel like it, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put some stitches into it, because I think that's the only way that I'll ever get a large project like that completed. So that's my plan for that. Okay, I also worked on Route 66, and when I pick it up and I show it to you, you're going to see that where I've been working is right here and right down into here. There is a whole lot of beige talk in here, and so I've been doing a little bit of that and going up here and doing, because this is many colors, and then going back down here and working a little bit more on this. So let me show it to you. And this is very stiff Aida, and so the creases and everything are really going to show, and I do have hanging threads. Let me turn this in a little bit. This material would almost stand up by itself. Okay, can you see it there? And then previously I had done these parts over here when I started in the center, but this is, and you can't even see. That is, at least I can't see it when I'm looking. These stitches here, they're there. Can you see them? They're really hard. When I'm looking at the computer screen, they're really hard to see, but that's that beige. That, where's my finger at? Oh, here. That's the beige part there. But then we have the colorful, psychedelic Volkswagen van. So we'll just, and remember in one of my, I think earlier in the week when I was recording, I said something about changing the way that I was using the wheel. And so I still have Scarecrow to work on. I haven't picked it up to do any more of that back stitching because I wasn't feeling up to back stitching much. But I will try to get on that this week. I will continue on Shades of Summer when it draws me. And my plan was to have 5 whips out for the week and just work on whatever I wanted to while I had them out. Well, I drew again to start today going on into the next week. And I drew Route 66 again, so I worked on that this morning. I drew Birdhouse and I drew Old Glory. So those are the ones that you're going to see next week. Now, I ordered a project bag from Shirl McKinney, and I received it, and I just wanted to show you how pretty it is. I love purples, and I love flowers. So, and then this really pretty butterfly. She always sends one of these zipper finders. She calls them zipper finders because she says don't pull on these to open because they're not made for that, but you know, it's to find your little zipper end here. So just wanted to share that with you. And she, if you don't know, Shirl McKinney shows bags almost every single week, and she does have an Etsy store, so if you want to check that out. And I've got a rack. Really nice. I'm going to pull that out here and show you what I got. And I want to say thank you very much to Ramona. Ramona is one of the people that I have sent the magazine patterns to. And she said she just had some stuff laying around and she wanted to possibly share it with me and see if I would like it. And Ramona, I was just pleased as punch when I got this. First of all, I was very surprised, and then when I opened it up and I saw what was in it, I was even more pleased. So she sent me some fabric. Here's some 14 count. I think this is white. And then she sent me another piece of 14 count Aida. And then she sent this, and I really haven't opened this up yet because I wasn't feeling really well, and I just thought, well, I'll check it out. And it says something about, I'm not really sure, but it's a Christmas Teddy Country stencil, and I don't know if it's just the fabric in here or if there's, oh, it looks like there might be a chart in here. I don't know. I'll let you know when I open it up and I start doing something with it. She sent me some waste canvas and this very pretty card with a wonderful note inside. And then she sent me this chart. Oh, can you see that? I think that's adorable. And this is a vintage chart from Laser Arts. It's 1988. And I like these older ones. And then she also sent me this booklet that's full of different things. And this, of course, is vintage also. And let me see if I can find a date, 1980. And in the center here, it shows, I don't know how well you can see that, but there are several in here that I looked at and I thought, oh, those are cute. I would love to stitch those. So I look forward to actually taking the time to sit down and actually pick something out and then get around to the point where I'll be kitting it up and starting on it. So again, Ramona, thank you. I appreciate that. I love when anybody thinks of me enough to send me something. It's just, it's cool. I think that's about all I have right now. Hopefully this isn't too long when it gets added to the other parts that I did. I watch FLOSSTUBE while I'm stitching. So unless videos are an hour and a half to 2 hours, then I'm not usually sitting still that long. So then I have to pause them and come back to them and watch them over several sessions. But I usually get it all watched. So I think that's everything that I have for you, and except to send out my love to everybody and to send hugs out to everybody and just hope that everybody has a really good week. And yeah, that's it. So if I keep going from here, I think I would just be rambling. So I'll let you all go. And again, love and hugs to everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.